So today I'm doing another traditional English dish. I'm doing sausage rolls. Really tasty. I don't actually think you have them in the States. I could be wrong, but if you don't have them, I don't know why you don't have them, because they are so good and they're so popular in the UK. Right, what we'll need, some pastry. I'm using a rough puff pastry that I made earlier. You could use a store-bought puff pastry. It works just as well. I'm using sausages. I've got Cumberland sausages. We are in Cumbria, so I'm using Cumberland sausages. I'm actually going to take the skins off these and we're just going to use the meat out of them. And to that meat, I'm going to add some finely chopped pancetta, some red and green chilies, and some finely chopped sage. I've also got some caramelised onions, which I just prepared earlier, which is, we're going to add that to the sausage roll. It's a really nice one, this, and quite simple. So I'm going to start by just taking the skins off the sausages. So I just slice along them. Sometimes you'll find that skins are really thin and a little bit tricky to get off, but these are actually quite good. But try and get rid of all the skin. Doesn't really work. You could just buy store-bought sausage meat, that's fine. And then you can just add to that whatever you want. Because there is, you know, you could add all sorts to this really. Whatever, you know, you could use a spicy sausage. They're quite nice. So you don't always have to do the same recipe on them. Right, then we'll just add the pancetta and the chilies. And I'm just going to chop the sage. I'm not putting an awful lot. I've got maybe, what, a dozen sage leaves there. That'll do. Then just mix that all in. Just try to distribute chili and the sage, the pancetta evenly throughout the sausage. It is best just to get your hands in and do it. You'll find it tricky with a spatula or something. That's looking okay actually. Right, so we'll stick that in the fridge and then we'll get on with the pastry. So the pastry, if you want to see how to make the rough puff pastry, I'll put a link below to the steak and Guinness pie that I made, and I go through the whole process there. It's a nice pastry actually, and it's all butter. It's basically equal amounts of strong flour and butter. But I use it a lot because it is a really nice one. So a little bit of flour. And I'm going to roll this out to round about 5 millimeters, so a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. I think what I'll do is I'll just do half at a time. You could just buy pre-rolled puff pastry. If you just want a quick and easy way of doing it. And I'm not really working on a certain sort of size at the minute, because the thing is with sausage rolls, they can be any size. They could be big, sort of fat, they could be thin, they could be long, they can be short. There's an awful lot of different ways you can do it. Right, I think that looks about right. Yeah, that's about 5 millimeters. Right, I'll just grab the sausage meat out of the fridge. Right, so I'm going to use about probably about half of this sausage meat, and all I'm going to do, just try and make it into a long sausage shape. I know it was a sausage before, and now we're making another sausage, but you know, it's now a sausage roll. And like I say, you could have more meat, or you could have less if you like more pastries. It's just getting a balance that sort of suits you, because everybody's got different tastes, I think, with sausage roll. And all we're going to do is just lift that pastry over, just tuck it tight, get all the air out, which is quite important. And then I'm just going to cut off what we got. And then a little bit of egg wash, which will just hold that pastry together underneath. There we go. And then I'm just going to slightly squash it down. Now, there is a sort of a new trend with sausage rolls, which I'm not keen on. Is that when you take it over, you'll then have like a flap, and you maybe go along it with a fork, so you get this little bit of pastry sticking out the side. Not overly keen on that. To me, traditional way is to have it underneath and it's a complete round. But it's up to you if you want to do that. But right, so then with this one, I've got a choice really. What I'm going to do is just trim the end off. And if there's any sausage, if I trim any sausage meat, which I did, just put that back in and trim this end. So I could cook that as a whole long sausage roll, and then it could be cut after. But what I think I'll do is I'll cut it into two. So I'll do that one as a complete one, and we'll cut it after. And then this one, I will cut it into small sausage rolls. So a nice sort of snack size. Just get a little bit of shape back. And then the next thing is just a few cuts on the top by putting don't go right through the pastry. So just a couple of angled cuts. And what this sort of gives the pastry a little bit of room to sort of to move and expand. So it will just puff up a little bit better. Right, they're then going to go on a tray. And the final thing to do with them is going to be just an egg wash, but I'll wait until the rest are made and I'll do them all together. Right, so again, cuts on this one. Give it a little bit of space because the pastry will expand, obviously. So we'll just give them a bit of space. Right, so the next one, what we'll do, just square that off. We can reuse these bits of pastry, that's no problem. And I'm just going to trim that a little bit shorter. And then let's see what we're going to need. In fact, we'll cut that into 3. And then we're just going to put a small amount in each. So it's easy just to sort of roll it out and get it to shape before you put it on the pastry. I mean, these are great for like for a party or something, or if you're putting on a bit of a buffet. Even if you're doing like a barbecue outside, you know, just these are a nice little addition. So what I will do with this one, even though I don't like doing it, is I'll show you the other technique. The one that I don't like. So a little bit of egg wash just on the front edge. And then we bring that over and we more or less just push it in tight. Just tight into the sausage meat, just getting the air out. And then we're just going to use a fork and just go along. And that's the other technique. And so this one, again, we'll just do some straight cuts. I think it's more of a sort of a decorative thing, but to me, in the eating, it's not as practical, let's say. As a sausage roll eater, I prefer a full round one. See, what it is, these fancy chefs get hold of recipes and then they start playing around with them. I mean, what you could do if you want, it'd be super neat. Just trim that off straight. You know, you're after something really sort of fancy, but it is a sausage roll. I better do the other one. Really neat. And the last one. So for the last type, some more pastry. What we're going to need. Okay, so this is going to be a fatter version. So we just square this up, straighten it up. Go a little bit more. Right, so the last of the sausage meat. So I'm keeping it like a chunky, much fatter sausage roll. I'm just flattening it down a little bit because what we're going to do is we're going to add some of the caramelized onion. These are nice, really nice. Now I think I'd actually got this idea from Tom Kerridge, I think it was. So I'd seen him do it, and I thought, because he has some great recipes, really sort of traditional, sort of English type food. Right, that'll do. Now just get rid of them. Just roll this over. And just cut off the excess. A little bit of egg wash. Did get the seam a little bit on the side, but that should be fine. Just push that in. For this one, what I would do once it's cooked, I'd then slice it into sort of maybe an inch sort of thick slices. Otherwise, it's there's quite a lot of meat there. So some cuts again. Just go a little bit further round with these cuts. That will do nicely. Get that on the tray. Then we just need the egg wash. And then what I like to do, I just use a little bit of finishing salt, like Maldon salt, just to sprinkle a little bit across the top, not too much. Right, then they're going to go in the oven, and oven needs to be 180 degree fan oven or 200 degree non-fan, and they take around about 25-30 minutes, but you want them just a nice golden colour. So that's them done. It took a little bit longer. I'm still getting used to this oven. So they were about 40 minutes, and the large one I put back in for an extra 10. Just because of the amount of meat in it, but they're looking really tasty. So the likes of this one, if you want to sort of be a little bit fancy, I can just neaten them up a little and just cut it. Whenever you're cutting something like a meat in a pastry, a serrated slicer is probably the best sort of knife to use. Just to sort of neaten them up, and these little bits will do for me. So you can either eat these hot, not straight out of the oven, give them 10 minutes on a cooling rack, or they're really good cold. So great for picnics, things like that if you're going away. But you can't beat a sausage roll. They're just so tasty. These are probably still a little bit hot actually, but they're nice. They're really nice. Just get that nice sausage filling there. It's a bit of a kick off the chili. Tasty. A good one, and they're fairly quick to make. And you can do so many variations with it as well. That's it with the filling, and then obviously with the size. It's a good one to play around with, really. So if you like the video, give us a sorry, I got a little bit of chili there. If you like the video, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Got lots more just good food to come.